Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea and this is I Heart Cross Stitch. Today is August the 25th, 2018, and this is my 30th video. Before I get into showing you what I worked on in the months of June and July, or actually July and August, I just wanted to remind you that I am having a giveaway. If you go to my previous video, the details of the giveaway are on that video, but basically you just have to leave a comment telling me your favorite summertime memory, and of course not to use the word giveaway, and you have to be over 18 and all of that kind of stuff. The prize is a $20 gift certificate to your online needlework store of choice or your LNS, if I can call them and buy like a gift certificate or a voucher or something. So there's that. So if you haven't entered the giveaway yet, please go to my previous video and do so, and tell me your favorite summertime memory. Also, I wanted to mention that I set up a D-Stash page on Instagram. It's IHCS D-Stash. IHCS stands for I Heart Cross Stitch, and then D-Stash. So if you go and search for that, you can see some of the things that I have up for sale. If you live in the United States, shipping is free. I'm not charging for shipping. If you live in another country, then you and I will work out the details of the shipping costs. But here are some things that are listed on the D-Stash page on Instagram. Stitchers World January 2000. And if you want me to do a flip through of any of these magazines, please let me know. But when I posted the pictures on Instagram, I took pictures of many of the patterns inside the magazines and whatnot, so that you could see what's inside of them. This is the May 2016 issue of Cross Stitch and Needlework, so that's up on the D-Stash site. June 2017, just Cross Stitch. The October 2013 issue of Cross Stitch Gold. Some Paula Vaughn charts. The Porch Swing. Summers Remembered, Yesterday's Dream, Sisters, Rose of Sharon, Friendship Quilts. Oh, I really like this one. I might take that one down and keep it. And also Victory Garden. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I know this would make a nice companion piece to the project that I have already that I'm working on, Good Neighbors. I know this would make a good companion piece to that one, but there are so many other things that I would like to stitch more than this, so I'd like to pass it on to somebody else who will not pass it on. I'd like to sell it to somebody else who wants it more than I do. Sunflowers, sunflowers, sunflowers. And this is a counted canvas piece, feathered diamonds. I haven't posted this yet, but it's Ultimate Cross Stitch Nature. So if you're interested in any of those items, just go to my D-Stash page on Instagram, IHCS D-Stash. And I'm looking down at my notes, because if I don't have my notes, then I just sit here and stare at the camera because I completely forget everything I want to say. Okay. All right, so I have a lot to show you and a lot to share with you today, but first I want to say congratulations to Teresa, Kitten Stitcher, and Trisha from 3 Owl Threads from being on Fiber Talk. think it's really cool that more and more floss tubers are being featured on Fiber Talk. So congratulations to you too. I am almost done listening to Teresa's interview with Gary Parr on Fiber Talk, and I really enjoyed it. Trisha, I haven't listened to that one yet, but it is on my to-do list. All right, something else I'd like to talk about is Go Gold for Charlotte. Now, if you remember, in 2016, September 2016, I had the very first Go Gold for Charlotte event. It's kind of like a stitch-along event kind of thing, but basically, in the month of September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And just like pink is the color for breast cancer awareness, gold is the color for childhood cancer awareness. And there is a little girl named Charlotte. She's 4 years old now, and she was diagnosed with cancer when she was, I believe, 18 months old. And she has spent most of her life battling cancer. I believe it was in her liver and her lungs. But she's doing so much better now. It was very touch and go there for a while. It got to the point where they thought they were going to have to say goodbye to her. But she bounced back, and she just started preschool just a few weeks ago. And so she's doing so good. And so what we have done the past 2 years is, if you happen to stitch anything using like a gold metallic or a gold floss color or anything with a gold feature, gold fabric, anything with the color of gold in it, and you post it on Instagram, use the hashtag #GoGoldForCharlotte. And then what Charlotte's mom does is she looks at all of the pictures that us stitchers are posting, all of us stitchers around the world. We stitch something in honor of Charlotte and all of the other children around the world that are fighting childhood cancer. And it just lets Charlotte and her family know that stitchers all around the world are supporting them and thinking of them, and we're stitching these pieces in their honor for the month of September. So I will be doing that, and I encourage you, if you would like to take part in that, all you have to do is just stitch a little bit of gold and post it on Instagram with the hashtag of #GoGoldForCharlotte. Okay, now it is time for my shoutouts, and I'm really looking forward to this because there are some people that I have been watching for quite some time now, and then there's some people that are new to me. They're new to me. They're not new to you, but they're new to me, and I would really like to talk about them for a minute. The first one is Leslie Hurley. Hi, Leslie. Leslie Hurley, she is so much fun to watch. She is so much fun to watch. She makes me feel like packing up all of my stuff and moving to Arkansas so that I can live in her neighborhood and be friends with her. Although I'm not sure I would be able to go to her house and visit her because she has cats, and I am horribly, horribly allergic to cats. I wish I wasn't, because I love cats and I can be around them for a short period of time, but any long length of time and I get hives and I get sneezy and with the eyes and everything. Anyhow, Leslie Hurley, she is just so much fun to watch. I always laugh, giggle, chuckle when I watch her videos. I feel like I'm sitting down at a table across from a friend, chit-chatting. I don't know, she's fun to watch, and I really like her projects. If you like Lizzie Kate or Shepherd's Bush, now I started watching all of her videos from the beginning, so I think I have gotten up to either February or March. So I haven't seen the past few months of her videos, although I'm going to try very hard to get caught up. So I don't know what she's been working on for the past couple of months, but from what I remember watching already, she likes Lizzie Kate, she likes Shepherd's Bush, and she's a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun. Okay, another person I'd like to talk about is Cross Stitch with Luda. Cross Stitch with Luda kind of leaves me speechless. She has 14,000 subscribers, and she's originally from the Ukraine, but she's currently living in the United States. And her cross stitch projects are absolutely stunningly gorgeous. So if you like Mirabilia, if you like kits like Reolus kits or Dimension kits, I think she's done some Rosewood Manor. If you like that kind of stuff, if you love to see beautiful things, go watch Cross Stitch with Luda. The next person I'd like to talk about is Christine from Every Stitch a Pleasure. Christine and Amy from Amy Loves Toads, those two combined have really, really made me want to go out and spend all of my money on Hawk-Run Hollow pieces. Christine is a great example of what I was talking about a couple of videos ago about how, like I mentioned with Jay from Mortuary Stitches, with Christine, I love her Hawk-Run Hollow pieces and a couple of other pieces that she's working on. But other than that, she and I have different tastes when it comes to charts. But I think she is an incredible and amazing person. So I really enjoy her videos because I enjoy her as a person. I also enjoy her Hawk-Run Hollow pieces and a couple of other pieces that she's working on. But mainly I watch her videos because I enjoy her as a person. She and I are very similar in our personality. So I just want to say hello to Christine. Thank you for watching my videos, and thank you for being an awesome person. The last person that I want to talk about is Beth Twist from Heartstring Samplery. She is a designer, as you know, and she's making videos, and I just love that. I wish that more and more designers would begin to make videos. I've learned a lot from watching her videos, and it's really nice to get to know the designer behind all of these pieces that we love to stitch on. So Beth, if you're watching, thank you for designing such awesome pieces. Okay, so let's get into the stitching now that we're over 13 minutes in. I'm going to show you two finishes that I had. All right. I finished Weatherwise from Prairie Schooler. Just give me a moment to get it folded. Here we go. Red Sky at Night, Sailor's Delight. All right, so this is stitched on 32 count vintage Sahara, and it's a little bit more on the yellowy gold side than what you're seeing. I believe that I've talked about this in the past, about some of the conversions I made. Like the houses were stitched in Shaker White, and the red in the words is the same color as this house, which is used brick from Classic Colorworks. What else? What other change? Oh, I changed the color of the grass, because the called for grass was kind of like an army green. It was kind of like a gray-green grass, and that just wasn't the kind of grass color I wanted. So I chose 733, I believe. What other change? Oh yeah, the wording is Pecan Pie, I believe, from Gentle Arts. The boat here and the roofs this roof and all of the other roofs is DMC 4000, which is a beautiful variegated brown. And then I wanted, it's hard to see, but I wanted the border to be a really dark browny green. And so I used Caper from Weeks Dye Works. So that's the border. It's a beautiful, it's like a dark browny green. Hope you can see that. Focus. It may not focus. Oh well. But anyhow, there's my finish on Weatherwise. Loved every single stitch of this. Some of this was stitched on a Q-snap. Some of it was stitched in hand using, the stab method. Some of it was stitched in hand using the sewing method. So, really love it. Okay, there's that. And I had another finish. I started this January 1st, 2018. This is my new year, new start for this year. So it's done. And next is my mountain lion. I finished the mountain lion, which if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this. But if not, then here it is. Okay. All right. So let me see if I can just get a little bit less. There we go. Okay. Isn't he gorgeous? This is stitched on a 28 count Joblin. It's like a sage green color. I got this chart from a Stony Creek booklet. I started this on June 1st, 2016. And I finished it just, excuse me, itchy nose. Last week? The 5th, actually. I finished this on the 5th of August, I think. I don't remember. No. I don't know. I don't remember when I finished this. I wrote it down, but it's in my calendar over there. I think I finished this just a few days ago. Oh no, it was Weatherwise that I finished on the 5th of August. And this one I finished just a few days ago. But look at those eyes. Okay, now let me see if I can get in here. The eyes are 1 strand of black DMC and 2 strands of black Krynic blending filament. So if you can see how the eyes kind of sparkle. And then the bottom part of the eyes is, it's kind of like a beige color with blending filament, with a white blending filament. Yeah. So his eyes just sparkle from the blending filaments. And then his whiskers are 1 strand of white DMC and 2 strands of white blending filament. So his whiskers are also very sparkly as well. But not as sparkly as if it were, I didn't use the what's it called, the braid, the number 4 braid. It's not as sparkly as if I had used that, but it's really nice. So there's my finish on the mountain lion. And I'm just I named him Samson. Oh, I just love this. This part right here and this right here, those about did me in. It was just one color, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I got through it and I love it. I cannot wait to frame this and put it on my wall. I'm hoping that if I hold it up long enough, it will be my thumbnail for this video. Oh, I'm gonna miss working on it. This ear is absolutely crazy confetti. Maybe you can't tell, you know, looking at it from back here, but holy cow, I remember working on that ear and I was just constantly changing colors, but it turned out wonderfully, don't you think? Love it. I just can't stop looking at it. Okay, moving on. Yeah, I'm going to put that in the bag because I don't want it to get damaged in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so some of the other things that I've been working on. I believe that I showed this in my last video. It is a Mirabilia Damask Roses, and I am so unsure of what I'm going to do with this. So I did finish it, kind of. I finished to where I had intended. You can ignore this part right here. So for all intents and purposes, this is finished because this is all I had intended to do. I just wanted this to be a small little project. Mary Rose from Stitch Bliss Corner gave me the wonderful idea of finding an oval frame and putting her in an oval frame. So right now, I'm not sure if she's done, because if she's done, then I'm just going to pick out this little bit right here and frame it in an oval frame. Or if I'm going to go down a little bit, I guess it just depends. See, the problem is this. She's sitting on a pedestal. You all know what it looks like. I've shown you a million times. She's sitting on this pedestal, and in order to go down far enough so that you know that it's a pedestal she's sitting on, I would have to extend her legs far out. Basically, if I keep going to show more of her, I would not have a lot of space between the end of the design and the end of the fabric. I would have to stitch a lot of this in hand, and I haven't done that in this project so far. I've been using a Q-snap for her, and I'm afraid that if I switch from using a Q-snap to stitching in hand, that I'm going to get a different tension, because I noticed that happened on my Weatherwise piece, but it really didn't bother me that much because it just didn't. But I don't want any differences in tension to be noticeable on this piece. So I need to think about this a little bit more. But technically I could call this a finish if I wanted to. So we'll see. I'm still thinking about that. About whether I want to extend it a little bit or not. I haven't decided. And if I decide not to, then I'm just going to pick out that little piece that I started working on and frame it. Just frame it in, like Mary Rose said, in an oval frame. I think she would look fantastic in that kind of a setting. Okay, my next piece is Strawberry Fields Forever from Blackbird Designs. And here is where I am on this. So I believe since the last time I showed you, I got this done. I don't think that I had this done the last time I showed you, so there's that. And if I really buckled down and worked on this, I'm pretty sure I could get it finished very quickly. But I'm taking my time and enjoying it. I just love this project. I love the colors, the green and the red and the pinks. with hints of brown and gray. Oh, I just love it. Excuse me, that might have been loud. All right, let me put that back. Okay. All right, so next is Rocky Point. This is a new start that I had in, I believe, the month of July. I started this in July. And just give me a second to get everything out. Probably should have done this before I press record, but oh well. All right, so here is what it will look like when it's done. It's a Dimensions Gold Collection kit. I just love this. I love the movement in the water. Love it. Okay. And I only worked on this for, I don't know, 7 days maybe. I'm not really sure how long I worked on it. So I only got a little bit of a start, and this is just the top left-hand corner. So I decided to start in the top left-hand corner for this one instead of the middle. And this really taught me a lot about myself in that. Okay, so this came with 18 count Ada, which I am using. I am using the 18 count Ada that came with the kit. I think it's 18 count. I don't have the packaging anymore. But I don't know if you can see this. Okay, do you see the dark, like right in here, there's this dark gray that goes around. Okay, that is what? I don't remember. It's 3 or 4 strands? 4 strands. 4 strands of half cross. Okay, and pushing a needle with 4 strands of floss and 18 count fabric, it really messed up my hands so bad. I woke and my hands were feeling really sore, and I went to sleep and I woke up and my hand was like this. Okay, and I had to actually open my fingers. I had to open up my hand with this one because my hand was just so stiff and it just kept on wanting to curl back into a fist. Oh, and I kept on having to like massage my hand and work my fingers because my hand was so sore after working on that project for a couple of hours. With the 4 strands on 18 count, it is very difficult. It is a workout on your hands big time. And so I was trying to decide whether I was gonna keep doing the 4 strands or maybe like switch to using 2 strands. And I did that for a little bit, but you could really tell a difference because it's a Dimensions kit, and they have the different amounts of floss to show dimension, 2, 3, 4 strands. They do that so that the piece can have dimension. And so when I switched from using 4 strands to 2, you could really tell a difference. So I went back to using the 4 strands, but I was very conscious with how I was moving my hands and using my hands when I was working that piece. So that's something to keep in mind if you ever decide to work a Dimensions kit or any project that has 18 count fabric but 4 strands. Okay, there's something else I wanted to talk to you about this. What are we in? A half hour in? Okay, so this came with a lot of floss. Okay, so I have them all in these floss away bags because, let me show you, it came on 2 of these cards. Now I haven't I haven't put these in their respective floss away bags yet, but it came, all of the floss came on these cards, right? And I wanted to make it easier for myself, because when I was working on the Dimensions Kit Paris Market, I really didn't like the way I had set up for myself. So here is how I decided to do it with this project. I took the color key and I stapled it together. So we have this side and we have this side. And I'm hoping that I'm going to describe this correctly. Okay, so we basically have three sections. This section, and this section. So I made it so that all of the flosses in this column have the black floss tied to it. So all of these colors are in floss away bags. All of the colors in the black section are in floss away bags, and it has a little piece of black string tied to it. So when I see like this pink dot, I know to look in the pack that has the black string tied to it. Same thing with the green. I have all of these floss colors that are in the green column are attached to the ring with the green string, and then all of these are in here, and I haven't really filled them in yet because these are all of the flosses that have blended threads. So as I get more into the project, I'll be adding to that. So that's how I decided to organize myself when working this project, and it's very, very helpful. So if you would like any more information on how I went about doing that, just let me know. Okay. All right, so let me move all of the stuff over. Okay. I am getting hot. The air conditioner is on and I'm sweating. It's probably like 90 something degrees outside, and I'm sitting in the warmest part of the house. All right, so what's next? Raven Queen. Raven Queen, where are you? There you are. All right, so I worked on Raven Queen a little bit, and here's where I got to. I'm stitching this on the recommended fabric. I believe it's called Touch of Gray. It's 32 count linen from Witchell, which I hate and I will never buy again. But I didn't really know any better when I purchased this. I had no idea it was going to be so hard and stiff. I talked about in a previous video how I went about softening this up. So if you want any more information on that, just reach out to me and I'll try and direct you to which video I describe that process in. I mean, it's not rough and stiff anymore, but it was when I bought it. So I was able to stitch this, and as you can see, there are some changes. Because I like, sorry for the sound, these spires were very tall, and I didn't make them very tall. I mean, I made them high, but I stopped at a certain point because it was just, I didn't feel going all the way up was necessary. So I stopped at a certain point, and I liked the choice that I made in that. I was able to start on this raven, and this is mostly what I got done. Now the chart calls for this Krynic it's not braid, it's not a braid, it's like a cable. It's a cable. And I had that in where the gold bits are. I had that stitched the last time and I picked it all out, and I'm using the Rainbow Gallery Petite Treasure Braid that Ginger Gerald sent to me. Hi, Gerald. And I'm loving it. It's so much easier to stitch with than the cable. The Krynet cable. The Krynet cable would be great if you're laying it down flat and you're couching it. But using the cable to do cross stitch to make X's, very difficult. Very difficult. So I really like this Petite Treasure Braid. Was able to get that done. So I'm pleased with the progress I made for this. I am stitching this for my niece, and she is graduating high school next, I guess June of next year of 2019, or May of 2019, and I would really like to get this finished for her for a graduation present. So it's very possible that you will see this a lot come January, because I want to get it done to give it to her for her graduation present. Oh, okay, give me a second. I need to fan myself. I am like, oh man, I am sweating. I am sweating. Whew. Okay. I'm not having a hot flash. I'm just like, I always run on the warm side. Okay, the next project that I want to talk about is a new project that I started, and I'm really, really, really excited about this project. I have been wanting to start this since the moment I got it back in December of last year. And if you remember the wonderful act of kindness that Olivia and Elena B did, they sent out special gifts to many people in the FlossTube community, and I was one of the recipients of their kindness, and they sent this chart to me, Heartstring Samplery, Be Kind Always. And I wanted to start it right away, but I wanted to, of course I had to kit it up. So I slowly kitted it up, accumulated the colors that I needed. And what really took a while was the fabric. The model was stitched on Picture This Plush Gingerbread. And it is a very beautiful piece of fabric. But for me, I felt that the fabric was competing too much with the design. For me, it was a little bit too dark. I wanted something a little bit lighter. And also, I wanted to stitch this 1/1 on 28 count. And I'll show you the progress that I have so far. But before I do that, I would like to read to you what's on the back of this. Okay. So just bear with me. I'm going to read something to you really quick. It says, we have conversations weekly in our household inspired by behavior that we've either seen or personally experienced at school, at work, in the grocery store line, on the road. We are trying to raise children that are aware of how their actions change the world around them, for good or bad. When they reached an age that they started noticing bad behavior enacted by both other kids and adults, they started asking why, which resulted in deeper conversations about life and how the things that happen to and around us can change the way we operate. Without recognizing that the person who just cut in front of us in line might be rushing to get home to a sick child, without an awareness of the hurts and pressures of humanity, we might get frustrated or angry with that person and return their act with an equally rude or hurtful action on our part. Does this help? No, it does not. This sampler is my way of reminding myself to be aware that there are almost always deeper motivations that cause people to behave the way they do. I need to stop taking their actions at face value and offer them grace and forgiveness instead. Even if they never know that I did it, in a small way, each positive reaction can make the world a better place. Beth Twist wrote this. It's on the back of the cover of Be Kind Always on Heartstring Samplery. And when I read this, it just... I don't know, it's very hard to describe the reaction I had to reading this, because it was kind of like Beth Twist went inside of my brain and wrote down everything that I have always believed about how to treat others. Like she said, maybe somebody, I'm sorry, I have to fan myself, I am so hot. Maybe somebody, you're driving somewhere and somebody cuts in front of you. It's very easy to get really upset at that person. Maybe nobody's perfect. Maybe they didn't see your car and they cut in front of you, or maybe they're rushing home to a sick child, like this person said. Maybe the person in front of you at the grocery store is having a really bad day. And so instead of getting upset, we just need to be kind, really. We need to be kind to others. We need to be kind to ourselves. In my very first video, I said that my favorite thing in the world is love. That's one of the reasons I called my channel I Heart Cross Stitch, because generally speaking, a heart is a symbol of love. And love is my most favorite thing. Love really is the most powerful thing. And we all need more love in our lives. And kindness is a byproduct of love. And so this project really, really resonated with me. I love it. And I wanted this project to be started on a very special day. As I have mentioned in the past, I have KFS, Klippel-Feil syndrome. It is characterized by having fused vertebrae. So C2 and 3 is fused together. I was born that way. I didn't have surgery to fuse my vertebrae together. It's a congenital fusion. I also have cervical ribs, which are ribs that are, cervical is the neck, right? So cervical ribs are ribs that come basically out of the neck instead of the thoracic part of your body, which is, your rib cage. So the cervical ribs are above my collarbone. And I also have spina bifida occulta and a couple of other issues with my spine. Those are some of the things that I have with the KFS, Klippel-Feil syndrome. And August the 6th is KFS Awareness Day. So I chose August 6th as the day to start this piece because it says, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you cannot see. I'm sorry, it says can't, but I said cannot. Be kind always. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you can't see. Be kind always. And a lot of the doctors that I have went to see are very surprised when I tell them that I have KFS, because I don't look like a person who has... I don't look like a typical KFS patient in that my neck isn't as short as it could be. There are people with KFS that have absolutely no neck. Their head looks like it's resting on their body. And they have more fusions than I do. Usually people that look like they don't have a neck, all of their cervical vertebrae are all fused together. I don't have that. I just have one fusion. So a lot of people with KFS don't look like me. They look completely different. So I am fighting a battle that you can't see, because I don't look like a typical KFS patient. I also have a lot of like mental health issues. I struggle with mental health issues big time. Like right now, I feel incredibly nervous and I'm shaking, okay? And when I'm done with this video, I'm probably not going to want to talk to anybody else for the rest of the day. As a matter of fact, a lot of times when I sit down to make videos, it's very difficult for me because it's very difficult. I'm just going to say it's very difficult for me to make these videos because it just takes a lot of out of me mentally. And you never know. You never know. That's all I'm saying. So just be kind to one another. Have patience with one another because you never know what another person is going through. There are so many things about me that you guys don't know, for real. And there are so many things we don't know about anyone, really. So all of that to say, just be kind. I went through all of that. I haven't even shown you the piece yet. Oh my goodness. Okay. So all that to say, thank you for putting up with my rambling about kindness, but it is being kind and encouraging others to be kind is a huge, huge, huge thing for me. So thank you for indulging me in that, I don't want to say rant, but just PSA, I don't know what to call it, but just, I try and be kind to everybody that I come in contact with in my life. And if we all just did that, if we all just showed one another love and kindness, imagine what a wonderful world this would be. If all of our actions were motivated by love. Okay, so this is stitched on 28 count mushroom Lugana, 1/1. And I do have a little bit of a thread here. I'm just going to pull. Okay, so I'm going to get in here so you can see it really close up. So those are little teeny tiny stitches, 1/1. Sorry about that. So I finished the lady, and I started a little bit on the house, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I am making some changes. If you see the border, it's kind of like these white, if you look closely, they're like white flowers. I'm not doing that. The color of the top part of her dress, like the shirt part of her dress, that's the color that the flowers are going to be. The blue in the man's jacket it was called for like Brethren blue. I'm sorry, I have to fan myself again. I am sweating like you would not believe. I'm going to be using Morning Glory. It's the beautiful threads that I got from Gerald. I'm incorporating his act of kindness into this piece. And he also sent to me the white. Where is it? Oh, here it is. The white, snowy white. The birds. You see these two beautiful birds right there? I'm going to stitch the white part of the birds. I'm going to be using the snowy white. So I'm really excited to incorporate the threads that I got from Gerald into this piece because he showed me kindness. This piece is all about kindness. So I'm really excited about that. What other changes am I making? I think well, as I get further into working on this, I'll explain it more. Can you see the sweat on my head? Ooh. Okay. All right, so the last thing I'm going to show you is what I'm working on now. It's a kit from Riolis. It's called Tuscany. And I'm working on this, and I will work on this until the end of the month. And then I will switch to a new start, which I'll show you in a second. So here I am on Tuscany. And it's just, I've been working on a lot of sky. This is just sky for days, people. Sky for days. So what I do is I take a length of floss and I work a little bit of sky, and then I work a little bit in the mountains, and then I work a little sky and I work a little bit in the mountains. So I really like this. I'm really enjoying working on this. Okay, let me look at my list. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to show you is this that I'm going to be starting on September 1st. It is from Ellen Mauerstroh Pink Peonies. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm going to be using that fabric that I got from Silk Weaver that I believe I showed in my previous video. It's a solo, so I don't know what the name of this is. I don't think it has a name since it's a solo dye. But I'm going to be putting this on this fabric, and it's going to be beautiful. So I'm starting that September 1st. This is not something that I planned on stitching this year, but I'd like to stitch this for a very special person. It's kind of like a secret stitch. I'm not going to say who I'm stitching it for because this person watches my videos. So there's that. Okay, I think that's it. That's all I have. Okay, so I made it in less than a minute, or less than a minute. I made it in less than an hour. Thank you so much for watching this video. Oh yes, that's right. I need to give you an update. I'm gonna fan myself while I'm talking. Okay, so as I mentioned in my previous videos, I had 2 jobs. I only have 1 job now. The lady that I was babysitting for moved at the beginning of August. So March, April, May, June, July. So for 5 months, I worked for her as kind of like a babysitter, nanny, mother's helper kind of thing. And she moved, and she moved far enough away so that I can't go and babysit. I might go to visit, but not really to babysit. I miss them. I miss the kids. What was I going to say? I have a lot more time now for my family. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I have a lot more time for my family now. I have a lot more time for stitching and, you know, the other things that I like to do. My husband is doing better. He is finishing up his physical therapy. He has decided to go back to work. He believes that he's ready to go back to work. So he's going to be starting back to work on Monday. I wish him the best. I hope that he can work. I'm a little skeptical because I'm not sure if he's physically capable of doing the things that he was able to do before. I'm very afraid of him re-injuring himself. But he is very driven and motivated to get back to work because he knows that if he doesn't, I'm probably going to have to get another second job, and he doesn't want that, and so he's decided to go back to work. So please, you know, if you pray if you could pray that he doesn't re-injure himself, or, you know, just like, please send good vibes. I'm sorry, I'm like sweating and I'm starting to ramble, so I'm gonna let you go. But thank you for watching this video, and I really appreciate you taking your time to watch my video, because I know that there are a lot of people making FlossTube videos, and I really appreciate you taking the time to watch mine. I also wanted to apologize. During the 5 months that I was babysitting, I found it very difficult to reply to all of your comments. So a lot of people left me comments in that time period, and usually I try and reply back to all comments, and I found it very difficult to do that during that time. So I'm very sorry if between the past 5 months, if you have left me a comment and I haven't replied back to it. I'm very sorry about that. I will try and get better at replying to comments now that I have more time. And what else did I want to say? Just thank you. Don't forget about my giveaway, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.